Welcome ladies and gentlemen to a bit of a different kind of video today. Today I'll be showing you a fast farming guide for legendary duelists using the Elements Unite skill. So the reason I'm doing this now is because I've been getting a bunch of requests for people who want farming guides for legendary duelists from GX. So I thought I'd just give out the most generic farming deck I have and the one that I use the most. There will be gameplay at the end of this deck, only one, just to show basically how it works. This should be a quicker video than my normal ones. This is simply because I actually don't have as much time this week to do stuff, so I've just kind of picked a really easy video to make. So I hope you guys don't mind, and let's get into the video. Alright, so the character used for this deck is the Paradox Brothers with the skill Elements Unite. This skill allows you to start the duel with 500 life points, and your starting hand will have one card in it, which is Gate Guardian. In addition, you'll start the duel with Sanga, Keizun, Sujin on your side of the field. Their effects are negated and they cannot attack as long as they are face up on the field. So what makes this skill so good for farming most legendary duelists, especially at level 30, is most legendary duelists can't actually destroy monsters over a certain attack threshold. So for example, they can't actually kill Gate Guardian with 3750 attack or even the 3400 defense. So basically on turn 1, as soon as you get your turn, you just summon Gate Guardian and then you can do whatever you like. So it's really easy to get combos going to try and get lots of duel points and duel assessment to get really high points and get more drops at the end of each duel. I'll talk a bit more about how this skill works and the particular combo with this deck later on in the video. Alright, now I'll go through the deck list. This deck contains 3 Blue Dragon Summoner, 1 Gravekeeper's Vassal, 3 Neo the Magic Swordsman or any other normal spellcaster type monster. Neo's just the best because he has the highest attack. 3 Shard of Greed, which can be replaced with any kind of draw card. This is basically just to make the deck quicker, so you can get to the end of the game quicker, which I'll talk about later on. So you can just replace this with any draw card you like. 3 Wonder Wand, 1 Double Summon, 2 Union Attack, 3 White Elephant's Gift, and 1 Secret Pass to the Treasure. So unlike my normal videos, there's not really much else to say about this deck list. Like if you don't have a card for it, you can just replace it with any kind of draw. Everything in this deck is just made to make the deck quicker and draw real quickly to get to the end of the game. So basically if you don't have something, just replace it with draw. The only things you need to have is you need to have at least 1 Union Attack, at least the Gravekeeper's Vassal, and a card that works like Secret Pass to the Treasure, because there are no other cards that work like Secret Pass to the Treasure that allow you to attack your opponent's life points directly. It's just Secret Pass to the Treasure just seems to be the easiest. Alright, now I'm going to talk a bit about duel assessment and why this deck is really good for farming. Basically what duel assessment is if you don't know, at the end of each duel you get a duel assessment, and your duel assessment is based on what happened during the duel, and the more points you have, the more drops you get, so the more card drops you get. So this deck should give you between 8,000 and 9,000 duel assessment on average. This is because since you start at 500 life points, you automatically get the comeback victory and low life points. Then, because of how the deck works and you're drawing so many cards, the aim is to get the cards on the brink points by getting your deck down to no cards left. You get effect damage only due to how the combo works for this deck and how Vassal works. And you get over 9,999 damage done in one hit to finish the duel, because that's again how this deck works. The last duel assessment thing I'll point out is you can get extra points for having glossy cards, so the more glossy cards you use in your deck, the more points you'll get. So if you have glossy cards of any of the spells or any of the monsters in this deck, just use them as it will give you more points at the end. Alright, now I'll talk about how this deck works. Basically, on turn 1 you'll just summon your Gate Guardian using its effect, which is it can be special summoned as long as there is a Sanga, Keizun and Sujin on the board. And once you have your Gate Guardian on the board, basically most legendary duelists, especially at level 30, won't be able to deal with it, so it will just sit there and your opponent will just keep passing his turn over and over, which allows you to do whatever you want for the rest of the game. So the next big part of this deck is basically you're trying to get the cards on brink at assessment points at the end of the game. So you're going to try and draw as many cards as quickly as possible so you get down to having 0 cards left in your deck. Because if you win with 0 cards left in the deck, that's when you get the bonus assessment points. So the way this deck does this is it uses Blue Dragon Summoner, Wonder Wand, Neo the Magic Swordsman, and White Elephant's Gift. So simply you play your Blue Dragon Summoner, equip Wonder Wand to it, activate Wonder Wand's effect, which destroys the spellcaster monster and draws 2 cards. This will then also proc Blue Dragon Summoner's effect to draw a spellcaster type monster, which will be Neo, to your hand. So in the end, just using Wand with Blue Dragon Summoner has drawn you 3 cards closer to the cards on the brink. You can then use Neo the Magic Swordsman with White Elephant's Gift to tribute it and draw another 2 cards. The next part of this deck is basically the combo to get you the 9,999 damage, because that's the easiest way to get the most points for the duel assessment. Keep in mind though, normally you want to have 1 extra monster left at the end of the duel to boost your duel assessment further, which I'll talk about in a little bit when I go through double summon, so just keep that in mind. The combo for this deck is you use Gravekeeper's Vassal with Secret Pass to the Treasures, with Union Attack, and double summon. Basically the combo is pretty simple. You play Gravekeeper's Vassal, which effect allows it to turn any damage it does into effect damage. You combine that with Secret Pass to the Treasure, which now allows it to attack your opponent's life points directly. You then play Union Attack on top of it, which means during the battle phase, when it goes to attack, all face-up monsters you control, all face-up attack position monsters, will have their damage added to this card. Now the normal downside to Union Attack is it cannot do battle damage, which is why you use Gravekeeper's Vassal, which turns all its damage into effect damage, so therefore it can still damage your opponent. Also, normally the downside is your other monsters can't attack during the turn, which is fine, you don't need them to, you just need your Gravekeeper's Vassal to do the 9,999 damage. And to make it a little bit easier to do that 9,999 damage, you run a double summon, so on your last turn you can play your Gravekeeper's Vassal, double summon and play another spellcaster. The reason you use double summon, you don't just play Neo or whatever it is the turn before, is because you have 500 life points. So if you just play a Neo the turn before and hope it lives into the next turn, you'll probably find the legendary duelist will just hit your Neo and kill you with battle damage. So that's why you use double summon, so you can get 2 monsters out on the board at once, which helps boost the Union Attack to get you over that 9,999 threshold. And the very last card to talk about in this deck is the Shard of Greed. Basically, it just helps you draw the cards quicker to get to the end of the game, so you can get to the cards on the brink quicker. As I said earlier, it can be replaced with any other spellcaster in the deck. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll have one gameplay clip at the end just to show how this deck works in case you guys are still a bit confused or haven't seen this before. And that's basically it for this video. Sorry if it's a little bit short, but I haven't had as much time to work on a video this week, so I just kind of went for the easiest option. Thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. Next week we'll be back to normal with videos.